Hi, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about expression methods. All right. So, expression methods are basically predefined functions that we can use as standalones or together in a chain to accomplish some functionality. All right. I am currently in the in-house function builder in our tutorial demo function. And I have this simple statement here. I basically declared a variable called first name and I've set it to a string uh, with my name. So if I were to open up this script user interface, I would see this button which says add an expression method. So if I wanted to say, okay, let's get the length of this name, I could go about it by basically running a for loop or maybe splitting the name into individual characters and running a loop and then counting set characters. Or I could use a built-in uh, expression method that does this automatically for me without having to, do some extra or to write some extra logic. So here, let's just open up the expression method modal and just search for length and apply that. Close this out. I basically accomplished this. Now I know the length of um, the string. Let's say I wanted to raise this to the power uh, 3, right? I could easily write some complex function to accomplish this objective, or I could just check to see if I have the power method and apply that and, change what is raised to 3. And basically now I have two methods, one that gets the length of the string and the second that basically raises the length to 3 by 3. Now, rule of thumb, every method consumes the state from the previous step. All right. So the string is passed into the length method and the number that results out of this computation is passed to the next method, right? So you can change, so each step in the method chain gets the state from the previous computation. That's one important thing to know. Now, let's take a deeper look at expression methods. So here, the most important takeaway is that our expression methods are comprised of two types of functions: the standard JavaScript methods, right? So this will be uh, number, math, uh, character at, date constructors, and so on and so forth, right? So we have the standard JavaScript methods and some custom methods, all right? So if you were to take a look, you would see something like add date. There is no add date JavaScript method. This is just a custom method that we provide because we felt like this is some important type of logic that a lot of people might want to have. So if you look around, there are a few of these methods that are custom, and we feel like we provided these to give you some extra functionality that you might find very, very helpful. Another one is dates to time zone. This is not a standard JavaScript method. Basically this converts any date to a time in a different time zone. Very powerful uh, uh, method. I want to just highlight a couple more of these custom methods. We have one called dot notation mapper. So basically, given a data structure, if you have a path, it would extract the data at the end of the path. Very powerful. and dot notation setter, giving a data structure, a path, and a value, it would update the object with the value at the set path. It's a recursive function. So this has some very powerful utility helper functions. We have over probably close to 100 of these functions, but the majority are your JavaScript methods like includes, index of, but you also have the custom ones like is base 64, is an email, right? So take a look, mess around with it. The key takeaway is that methods are basically functions that carry out a set logic that you do not need to write out. It's basically helpers um, to basically help you get to your objective. Now, before we leave, I just want you to pay attention to these arrows. So if you wanted to per se add a method after length, or you wanted to add one before length, what you could do is that you could just click on the down arrow to basically add one after length, and that's you could just say I want to stringify. So now I have a method that I added after length, or if I wanted to add one before length, I could just say, well, I want to add number max, the max value. So you see how you can basically arrange, or if you missed something, you could always just put it in there. But then again, it's so easy to implement that you could always just easily delete and re-add with ease. So basically, to recap, function methods are basically expression methods are pretty much functions that are already pre-configured to carry out a task that if you had to write the logic would be very mundane and repetitive. You can chain these methods, right, and they will execute with the values from a previous method. And there, my friends, is expression methods. Thank you, and I'll catch you in the next video.